As we start September, we finally see some rain in the area. Most of it right now situated around the I-44 corridor. Beautiful weather is going to be changing over the next couple of days. We've already seen flooding in the last week, and we could be dealing with that again. Here's why. Tropical storm Hermine is making landfall in Texas. Now that's the one that gets you all wet, right?
Yeah.
Was that nice?
Yeah.
I bet so. When it's hot outside like this, you definitely want to stay cool. Let's take a quick look at your fair forecast for the next couple of days. You'll see 90 degrees for tomorrow, 96 degrees for Monday. There's no relief inside anytime soon as far as the heat's concerned, but if you are going to get out and do some boating tomorrow, it's going to be a great day to do so. Both 95 at Table Rock and Lake of the Ozarks. What's behind me is just a perfect example of how hard they've been working to keep the roads clear. This mound of snow you're looking at is just about as tall as I am. Over to our west, around Joplin, Lamar, Nevada, they saw upwards of 4 to 5 inches in some areas. Your day planner, how's it looking today? Well, I think it's going to be a chilly morning, 61, 68 by noon, and then 74 our high day. It's not going to get much warmer, but it's going to be a very pleasant day. So how is that going to affect things for tonight? Well, I think lows, it's actually going to be kind of chilly up around this area. 63 in Warsaw, 63 in Hermitage, 64 in Stockton, 63 in Osceola, and 62 in Nevada. And you guys could see some scattered shower thunderstorm activity throughout the night tonight. Just look at this band of rain that moves across the viewing area, dumped several inches of rain. In fact, it was one of the worst rains we've seen in a good while, but we were needing it. Take a look at the rainfall totals though. 4.15 inches in Bolivar, 4.62 in Springfield. That broke the record previously set in 1957. We've been talking a lot today about the wind and how windy it is outside, so I thought we'd tailor our weather quiz to the wind today. Here's your question for your Monday, Labor Day. Wind normally blows in which direction? You can see Hurricane Earl has finally hit the East Coast around the Carolinas. We've got heat advisories in effect, and that's going to go on until 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Good morning, everyone. The rain is falling here in the Ozarks. We got a couple of heavy patches of it right now. In fact, if we zoom down around the Springfield area, you can see out around El Dorado and Nevada, there's decent little patches here. We've been talking about all this rain and the possibility for more flooding in the near future. Well, this was sent in this past week during some of our flooding there on September 1st. You can see the rain just washing over the driveway. This was in Christian County. So if you're getting out to the lakes this weekend, this is the time to do it and soak up those sun rays. And we got a little more on the complete forecast in just a bit. The National Weather Service says winds of 110 miles per hour are what did this damage right here. You can see the boosts are toppled, and take a look over here. This is one of the most interesting things right here. This table is actually completely through the roof. Here's what we saw today, 94 the high and 72 our low, and as you can see, both of those numbers are well above our normals for this time of year. We're going to stick around with this for a little bit longer today. That could affect your travel, especially north and south. The crowd has definitely increased as we've entered the night hours versus what we were seeing earlier this afternoon when we were just in the dead heat of the day. We saw temperatures around 93, 94 earlier today, and a lot of people just kind of stayed away for a little while. I think the brunt of the rain is going to stay to the north, at least when we look at this model. But again, as we head into Thursday, it shows much more coming in behind that front there. Then we're going to hit about 35 for the high today. It's not warming up a lot. In fact, it's going to be just sitting around the freezing mark for most of the day. Hypothermia is actually defined by simply your body losing its temperature and it going down below your typical 98.6 degrees.
Now, KSPR weather.
Another storm heading this direction right out of the Atlantic Ocean, and it's beelining for the Ozarks this time, so we may need our own storm shutters on our homes.
Hermine, right?
Hermine.
Okay.
Tropical storm Hermine is making its way in. Let's look at radar right now. If you guys will look off just to the west around Emporia, you will see just a little bit of rain right there, but that's nothing that's going to be affecting us just anytime soon, I think. Satellite and radar over the last 12 hours really has been a pretty clear day, aside from some of that scattered stuff off to the west. So right now in Springfield, we're at 86 degrees. The dew point is at 59, and the winds are from the south at 15 miles per hour. Now, those have actually been a little gusty throughout some of the day today, but look at the temperatures right now. We're pretty much in the mid to upper 80s, 86 in Springfield, Marshfield, Lebanon, 87 in Bolivar, as well as 87 in Ava, 88 in Branson, 89 in Harrison right now. But really the wind speed is the thing that I think probably most of you have noticed as you've been outside today. Wind speeds have been considerably fast. In some parts of the day, we were up into the 20s. Right now, you're sitting at 20 miles per hour in Joplin, 15 in Springfield, 16 over Monell. So still a few gusty spots around the area, and that's definitely affected people out on the lakes today. It's also affected anyone maybe trying to burn something. Well, there's a red flag warning in effect. Now, this is for Shannon and Oregon counties. You guys will be under this for the remainder of the day. This is really just because there's there's not a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, and you've got those southerly winds bringing in that dry air, so there is that potential for fires. All right, evening planner. It's not too bad, actually. 82, 7 p.m., 77, 9 p.m., and 73, 11 to 9. I think there could be a scattered shower or thunderstorm, but most of that will be off to the north. Weather headlines, again, we talked about this a few minutes ago. Rain possible, cooler temperatures, and some effects of Tropical Storm Hermine. So let's take a look at that. Tropical satellite, here it shows it pushing in to the Texas coast right now, but it is going to make its way up into the Ozarks as we head into the next few hours, and here's why. So as we put a track on this, you'll see Hermine comes up, and it's going to, technically right now, we're projecting it into Oklahoma and eastern Kansas at this point. So what that could do is bring more rain, the possibility of flooding, and even some storms to our area, probably Wednesday and Thursday at the latest. But for the most part, we're not going to be dealing with a lot of that till later in the week. Here you can see that cold front starting to push through, bringing a little line of showers and thunderstorms, most of this just off to the west of Kansas City. So let's look at Futurecast. All right, we'll put this in motion, and this is going to set up for about 8 p.m. tonight. It starts to move in, but I really think this is going to stall over the Ozarks and really not move very fast. I don't think we're going to get a lot of this in our area, but mostly up to the northern parts of the state. So let's zoom in a little bit on Microcast and take a look at our high res, and you can see it's pretty clear. But then tomorrow, as I told you, that front kind of parks and it creates a stationary front right along this area, and so the people below this could get some of that moisture coming up from the Gulf and may actually see some rain and maybe a thunderstorm or two tomorrow down to the south. But for the most part, here comes your widespread stuff. That's Wednesday night, 9 p.m. and moving into Thursday. All that remnants of that tropical storm. Tonight, 65, mostly cloudy, storms possible to the north. Tomorrow, 82, partly cloudy. Again, showers, but most of those will be down to the south. And then your 7-day forecast, well, there it is, 82 for tomorrow. As I mentioned, that slight chance of rain. And then 80 for Wednesday, Thursday, 78 degrees. And I think Thursday is our bigger chance for the rain as the tropical storm makes its way up in towards the Ozarks. And the bad part of this whole thing, the Springfield Cardinals are in the playoffs. And they're supposed to be playing at home Friday and Saturday, as well as in Arkansas the couple of days before. So this could really mess up plans, and we're hoping that that's not the case.
And this storm system can affect all the games, right?
It can. This can be widespread rain.
All right. Thanks, Will.
And our storm team coverage with KSPR's Will Carter.
Good afternoon, guys. As you mentioned, the Pizza Hut here in Monette was destroyed, along with several other businesses that were damaged. Now, as you can see, the roof and the tiles are all just peeled off and lying in the middle of the parking lot now, but this could have been a whole lot worse. Here's why. The storm actually moved through a little after 7 this morning. Had it been a few hours later at lunchtime, look at this. We could have been sitting in the dining room and people seriously could have been hurt.
To look inside and be so grateful that there was no one in the building at the time and that no one was hurt, that's really a blessing.
In less than a minute, Pat Hopkins' 36-year-old family business was toppled.
We drove up and we're like, oh my goodness, this is a nightmare.
Inside the Pizza Hut, chairs are now part of the outdoors, and the buffet, well, it now sits on the ledge of a remaining brick wall.
To see things just demolished and how a force so much bigger than human beings could wreak this kind of damage.
That force of nature also hit the Finish Line car wash just a block away.
Our Bay 1 wall was totally knocked down. So
Debbie Nichols worked here for 2 years, and as she cleans up debris, she says her initial worry is what now?
This morning this was devastating, and I'm going, there goes my job.
At the car wash, bricks scatter the ground and one wall is shifted.
It's hard to see when you work somewhere to see damage like this. It's not easy.
Not easy for anyone, but with the damage done, most businesses are only left with one option.
We're going to scrape this up and clean it up and start over again.
Now, the National Weather Service says winds of 110 miles per hour are what did this damage right here. You can see the boosts are toppled, and take a look over here. This is one of the most interesting things right here. This table is actually completely through the roof right here. This is the kind of damage you're seeing all over Monette, and we're going to have much more on this story a little bit later. In Monette, Will Carter, KSPR News.